Hi, I'm Ed Bates again from Kilworth Chiropractic Clinic, and welcome to another today's Daily Dose. Now, over the past couple of days, I've talked about longevity and the fact that ultimately we don't really get to choose or decide how long we're going to live for. But as I mentioned, too many people wait until a major crisis occurs before they even begin to take action. In other words, the motivation for most people comes out of need or necessity. And as they say, procrastination is the greatest thief of health. Well, we just wait. Whereas my wish for society is that we become more proactive and actually choose a life of health and vitality by simply making better health and lifestyle choices. Because when you think about it, ultimately, each and every single one of us will all have to make a choice at some stage. So if you want to make the choice on your terms, or do you want to wait for the motivation to come out of a crisis? So how can we make it more personal and real? Well, recently I came across a very simple calculation that might help, as it gives you the minimum number of potential years that you have remaining. So what I want you to do is to take the age of your eldest or oldest parent or grandparent, whether they're living or dead, and simply subtract your current age from that number. So take the oldest relation, your grandparents or your parents, and subtract your age from that. And what does that number give you? Well, that number is the minimum expected number of years that you have left to live. So how does that number make you feel? Does it shock you? Does it frighten you? Does it inspire or excite you? How does it make you feel? Because regardless, hopefully it'll provide you with a little more motivation for you to want to change. Back whatever, almost 100 years ago, the average life expectancy of humans was only about 50 years. In other words, anyone who is in their 80s, their 90s, or even their hundreds now have so far exceeded their predicted life expectancy. In other words, for our grandparents and maybe even our parents, they had no prior warning that they were going to live into their 80s, their 90s, or beyond. In other words, they at least had an excuse if their health deteriorated because they weren't expected to live that long. Well, we don't have that luxury because we have been given warning as to our longevity. We are now expected to live longer. So the question is, are you going to become a burden to your families, or are you going to choose an optimal and vital life? So what does your score tell you? And what are you going to decide to do? Wait until a crisis pushes you over the edge, or decide now to change your lifestyle? Face it, you deserve a life of health, happiness, and vitality, and so does your family. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy.